Hey, John here from John's Do It Yourself. Real quick, if you own one of these Opal ice makers, you've probably seen me go ahead and fix the spindle that makes the banshee noise. Well, I've owned this one for about 9 years now, and let me tell you, if you don't go in there and do a thorough cleaning, you're going to be disgusted at how your ice starts to look. Now, you can run the vinegar treatments and all that, but until you get in there and actually see the buildup on the walls, or you actually see your ice starting to appear with dirt in it, well, it looks like dirt, but it's actually crud. I'm going to show you real quick how to clean it. It'll only take us maybe 30 to 45 minutes tops. I'm going to break this thing down real quick. You don't have to take the whole thing apart because most of the parts that have water to them are on the outside. So all you're going to need is a pair of pliers, a screwdriver, and you're going to need a straw cleaner and some kind of toothbrush, and preferably a brush with an easy tip to get into the reservoir that hard to reach places. So let's quick break this down and let's get it clean. And yes, I've already cleaned this a few times. I've actually cleaned it before this video because I was so disgusted. I didn't want you to see how dirty my ice maker was. So I'm going to run you through the process real quick. So let's break it down. Let's go.
Just like in the other videos, I'm going to show you how to take it apart first. We will do this quick so we can be done within our 30 to 45 minute time frame. Take a small flathead screwdriver and pry out the rubber plugs on the top of the ice maker to reveal the small screws below them. Once those are out, take a Phillips head screwdriver and take out all the screws. Now lift up the top gently, don't yank it away, and follow the attached wire to the clip and unclip it. Now collect all your pieces and put them on that piece so you don't lose them. Now you can remove the 8 screws on the back of the ice maker. Continue using your Phillips head screwdriver. Now, to remove the surrounding frame from the ice maker, you will need to remove 8 screws. 2 of the screws are actually smaller than the others. So what I do is take a small piece of paper and write it down. Name the piece the screws go to, and make an annotation that 2 of the screws are smaller, so later I'm not confused. If you look closely, I actually wrote 5 and 2 when it should have been 6 and 2, but you know me, I never edit out my mistakes. Next, we're going to remove the reservoir. There are 2 screws on the front at the top, and there are 2 screws on the frame on the side. First thing you need to do is remove the cap to get the UV protection out of the way. Take off the screws from the side and then from the top. Now there is a small lip on the end of the reservoir, so you can't slide it out of its cradle until you actually remove the top of the ice shield. And there are just 3 quick screws on the top of the ice shield, and then that comes off. Once that is off, then the reservoir can easily be picked up and removed. First, pull the water tube off the bottom of the reservoir and then lift the reservoir up and out of position. Now, I always think it's a good practice to take the screws that you removed and put them back in the screw holes. This way you don't have to guess which screws go where. And while thinking about that, I guess I could have done that with the top frame screws. Next, we are going to remove all the water tubing from the actual ice machine. And so what you need to do is you need to grab those pair of pliers that we got, and all you have to do is squeeze together the lock and then pull off each tube. Very simple procedure. Continue doing this all the way around the machine. You should have 3 water tubes when you are done. Okay, take your time pulling out these hoses. Now, I don't know when I did this or at what point in this occurred. It might even been before I even took off the top. But do you see that I've broken the little copper connection on the back of it? So be very careful when you're around this thing. I didn't realize it was so fragile because now I'm going to have to solder this back together. So be careful of this. Okay, before we take all the pieces to the sink and start cleaning, what you're going to need to do is remove the little shield from the bottom of the water reservoir. And this just has a couple of quick screws that you can unscrew and make this happen. While you're at it, go ahead and unclip the two drain hoses on the back and pull them off too. This is not actually part of the ice machine where ice water would go through, but it's not going to hurt to clean those. Alright, so it's off to the sink we go. The first thing you're going to need is your straw cleaner. So start with one of the hoses and actually just push it in, turn it around. Make sure you're flushing enough water through it. Do it from both ends because it's actually pretty long. You don't want to push it all the way in to make sure you don't damage the hose in any way. Don't remove the spring or anything like that, or it's not really a spring, it's a coil. And just take all of the pieces and clean them good to make sure all of the film is out of them. These actually weren't too bad, so it's a really quick cleaning. You can even take your little joint, your tri-joint that connects all three hoses, and go ahead and see if you can get the straw cleaner into those. Then what we're going to do is we're going to start with the reservoir. You're going to go ahead and clean that out. As you see, mine's got a lot of gook in the bottom of it. So just start scrubbing. You get the idea. You don't need to watch me clean. And this is why I said you'll probably need something more than a toothbrush, something with something on the tip, so you can actually get down into the corners. It'll be a little more difficult with the toothbrush because you can't lay it flat. If you can get your sponge in there, that's great, but you'll need to get it as clean as I did here. And then also, I almost forgot about the drain tubes. So these weren't really that dirty, but they do get some clog to them. So you can quickly just pull those out before you forget them. Okay, go back and grab your ice maker. We're going to start by moving the small filter in the secondary reserve, water reserve, basically the ice drain. You can see mine is pretty bad, but we're just going to get this cleaned up real quick too. Make sure you're in a well lighted area. I'm having to throw a flashlight on this because it's hard to see in here because the interior of this is dark, but you can see all the crud that actually builds up from all the water going through. And when you're done, it should be as shiny as this. Don't forget to look straight through the top, straight down, to make sure you got all the corners there. Alright, so once everything is clean, you can start to put everything back together. We're just going to start with the drain tubes, and then we're going to follow that by adding all the tubes back to everything that we can. Just like we did before, taking them back, we're just reversing everything and doing it in the backward motion. Now, but while you're watching me do this, I'd really like to talk to you about the UV light, because that's something you want to make sure that the wires are not damaged in any way, shape, or form, because your ice maker will still create ice, it just won't be treated. What the UV light does is it turns on automatically and stays illuminated while the ice maker is operating. This actively treats the water as it cycles through the system. You want to clean this before you put the lid back onto the reservoir. It wipes off very easy, so you want to actually get the lens itself to make sure nothing is tampering the light. Because while the UV light helps detect bacteria growth, it does not prevent scale buildup from the hard water. So the manufacturer still recommends that you routinely clean your kit with an Opal clean kit, but I recommend you follow these instructions and you get in there and you see your dirt and you clean it yourself. Okay, more than likely you're not going to have to do this step because remember I screwed this up. But if you did, you'd actually have to go back to the copper heat pipe and solder it back together. So I put a little dab on the main line and then on the actual coil. And then what I'll do is, after I get those two tiny little beads on, I will hold it still with a pair of pliers and then I will melt the two together. Not too hard, but I definitely want to make sure that the heat is dispensed when the system is running. Okay, once that was fixed, I just continued actually putting the screws back together. I put the back plate on first, Make sure you have your drain pipes pushed in tight and the clamps on them. And then once you have that, you can go ahead and reattach the lid. Make sure the clip is on so the actual buttons work. And put in your screws, and then you're good to go. Everything looks clean. And then I guess there's one last step, and that's to actually take a vacuum to the actual filter, the air filter on the side. That'll keep any cooling issues down, so if it's actually putting a strain on the fan, you'll have more airflow better this way. Alright, and that's it. So after you do this, I would really like to know, because I know taking it apart and putting it back together is actually the fast part, how long you spent cleaning it inside, and if you kept it under 30 minutes or did it take all of 45 minutes. So let me know in the comments. And everybody, thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Here's the clean ice, and we'll hope to see you on the next video.